So I feel like I don't do a vlog for a while and then I do a few in a row. And here we are off to London again. Here is my outfit of the day. Jack Faux Fur, ASOS jeans, Longchamp jumper, Alexander McQueen trainers, Mulberry bag, Longchamp sunglasses. And we are off to Harrods. I'm off to meet the fabulous Steph from Handbagaholic and Deb from Wild Unfiltered. Took the train in. Was a bit of a rough start. Didn't have had a bit of a challenging evening on the Friday. Took a lot of energy to get up and out, but here we are, and I am refueling and having a fabulous pistachio Spanish latte. Love this little pouch by Longchamp. This is where I keep my AirPods. It's fabulous. First stop was Bagista, some beautiful pieces. Love that Constance. They had a lot of variety. I thought that the prices were quite reasonable as well. Staff were incredibly friendly. It's a nice store. It's not overly big, but you have lots of pieces. And what I really like about it is the fact that there was a great balance of neutrals and colours. So you could really get a feel. I loved this Gucci. I don't know what line this was from. It feels Marmont-esque. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fabulous. These neutral Chanels as well, very pretty, particularly with the silver hardware. You don't often see caramel in silver hardware. The blue wok was also very, very eye-catching. Got the opportunity to try on a GST. I like the GST, spoken about it multiple times before. Having now tried one on, I actually prefer my Gucci padlock toe, but I liked it nonetheless. That YSL clutch was a big favourite of mine. Really, really liked it. And I like the fact that they had pieces that were sort of seasonal as well as some sort of more standard collection pieces. Liked those Gucci's, and I thought this Chanel flat bag was very interesting with the leather CCs. The real standout piece, though, was this absolutely stunning crocodile Birkin. It was gorgeous, like exceptionally stunning. I got to try it on and I loved it. Into designer exchange, not a huge amount of stock rotation from when we were here together the last time, but always nice to check out some of the pieces. What I like with the Dior selection is that they had a lot of seasonal pieces, and I really do like seasonal because I think quite often the designers are a little bit more experimental. They'll just push the boundaries, I think, a little bit more with a season versus, you know, a core collection piece. So here you see a lot of these arty Lady Dior's. That pink was absolutely gorgeous. £2,400, a real work of art. So maybe if you don't want to buy a art Lady Dior or a more sort of custom Lady Dior new from boutique, because they are incredibly expensive, do look at them pre-loved. That Blind for Love Gucci, I'm going to be thinking about that for a long, long time. If it is still there at the end of the year, I am buying it. You heard it here. I am buying it. But the Gucci selection was very similar to what we saw previously. Really like that snakeskin Marmont. This Dionysus I thought was gorgeous as well. Love the fact that they have the seasonal pieces. Very, very fun. Gucci does a great seasonal collection. Absolutely love. And you might recognise that Dionysus because I own that Dionysus. This Louis Vuitton I thought was quite expensive, actually. A lot of the price points I find in designer exchange to be really reasonable. But when it came to Louis Vuitton, I felt like they had slightly mispriced it. But then again, I don't really shop Louis Vuitton, and I don't really know much about it, how it holds its value, etc. So I could be talking absolute nonsense, you tell me. They do have sort of a smaller selection of pieces like Alexander McQueen, Stella McCartney, Miu Miu, etc. The Knightsbridge store is a very big store and they have a lot of stock, but only a small selection from those brands. So here's some of the Stella McCartney collection, sort of Falabella pieces, more Alexander McQueen. That's the heroin bag. This absolutely gorgeous shoulder bag that is currently on sale. It's £850, so it's in their sales section. Really, really lovely. And some of the Celine pieces. I really am quite taken, actually, by the Celine box bag at the moment. I saw a lipstick pink one, which I think was about £800, which I'm pretty taken with. Would I use it though? I don't really know, but I like it nonetheless. Some of the Celine pieces, great value. Others, felt very, very expensive. Lots of beautiful Prada pieces, those gallerias, sparkles, fun seasonal items. Definitely a lot to be looking at. Prada also doesn't hold its value brilliantly. So if you are wanting to buy a Prada piece, go for it. This blue was absolutely gorgeous. If it was a slightly different bag style, maybe the double zip tote would have looked at it. I also really like that navy and cream. I think it's stunning. This is £650 and very chic, sophisticated bag. I have one not dissimilar in the yellow and I love it. This yellow card holder, stunning. Also love that Murakami wallet. If I was in the market for a wallet, I would have been looking at that. And I mentioned this Dionysus earlier, £800 for the equivalent of the one that I have. £410 for Mulberry. And I tried on these Louis Vuittons, and these are so Kate. Why I was trying them on, who knows, just something to do, I guess. Really liked this Louis Vuitton tote as well, but it was £1,100, and I actually prefer the off-the-grid that I bought from Gucci recently. Speaking of Gucci, how bougie are these ski goggles? If I still skied, I would 100% buy those. Now, after a little mooch in Love Luxury, where I didn't capture any footage, but Deb let me try on her Constance, and I have to say I really liked it. This Chanel was absolutely stunning. Love a seasonal piece. I've said that multiple times in this video. Now, if I was uber rich, Cartier jewelry all the way. I love the panther rings, the panther necklaces. I would be buying so many of them. I've also spoken about their bags recently because I think they are very chic, very effortless, very sophisticated. These in particular, I think, are nice alternatives to a Kelly. Bulgari bags, these were gorgeous. Artwork, absolutely stunning artwork. And Balenciaga, I thought this piece was very interesting. It was fun. I liked this grey colour. I can really see where they were going with this. I actually did really like this bag and I liked the mechanisms of it. Very chic. And this was a nice sort of tote style. Not my fave, but a nice tote style. And then you had this crisp sort of clutch. A little bit whimsical, fun. Dior always know how to do a beautiful print, and they had a lot of artistic Lady Diors as well. Really loved the crystal hardwares. They had exotics, again, with some embellished hardwares. Really stunning. Different textures, patterns, prints, colours. I do love to see what Dior create. I think their pieces are absolutely beautiful. Alexander McQueen, stunning, show-stopping, loved the glitter. Alexander McQueen makes some of the most beautiful bags. This sales assistant was also so friendly, so kind, so fun, and you didn't feel like you were being overly sold to, which I really appreciated. We could just admire the beauty of the pieces. Into Celine, this is the sort of new tote. I've not yet seen the Phantom in person, and I'm very intrigued. I love my yellow Phantom. I don't know if I'll really look at getting one of the new ones, or maybe I'll buy another one of the old style. Who knows? Celine had some beautiful pieces. I actually really like the canvas with the Triomphe print on it. Alexander McQueen, adore these shoes. I am looking at buying another pair of Alexander McQueen sneakers, maybe just the normal oversized sneakers. To be honest, aesthetically, they are my favourite, and they're the ones that I've wanted for a while, so I might pick those up at some point, probably see which ones Bista has to offer, and where I can get a little bit of a discount. Beautiful McQueen, ready to wear, gorgeous jackets. Absolutely loved these patterns and prints. I thought they were stunning. These shoes were also really, really cool. They were about £900. Just a fun sort of chunky boot to offset an outfit, add a little bit of dimension. And who doesn't love an Alexander McQueen scarf? Such an iconic piece of the collection, and the green in particular, I thought was really, really nice, particularly for the season we're coming into. This was also a very interesting piece. It was an ostrich skin sort of briefcase. Wine stop, so important to refresh, recharge, and of course, when you're having a shopping trip with your friends, have a chit chat. And I took a very quick opportunity to dash into YSL. I love these sunglasses. Love the idea of having a pair of sunglasses you can wear indoors and outdoor without looking really silly and a bit douchey. And those are the runway boots. I think I've seen Alexander Skarsgård wear those as well at a recent premiere. This coat was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Didn't even dare to ask the price, but I loved it. Louis Vuitton shoes. I don't know how I feel about Louis Vuitton shoes. I think they're okay. They do not make my heart flutter. Let's say that. They are nice. I like some of the simplicity of some of the pieces, but there is certainly nothing to write home about for me. However, I did appreciate these. I liked the detailing on them, and I feel like they would be quite comfortable. Capucines, some of the detailing on the capucines is beautiful. This is absolutely the sort of highest end Louis Vuitton bag, and I can see why they've pitched it that way. Thought this Noe was incredibly cute as well. And these are the Star Trail boots. I've really liked these for a long time. They're about $13.50. Really liked them. And these trainers, absolute standout. I loved those. Loved them. These were cute little sort of ballerina flats, but at £1,250, and they were basically mesh with some crystals on them. Very expensive. A couple of nice pieces. Like I said, Louis Vuitton, nice. Doesn't set my heart on fire. Christian Louboutin, on the other hand, aye, absolutely love and adore. I love Christian Louboutin. I should not be buying anymore, but I do just love to look and browse, and who knows, there probably will be more in my future. I absolutely loved these boots, and what I really liked about them was the fact that I feel like they would be quite comfortable, as maybe comfortable as a Louboutin can be, which is, yeah, challenging to find, but they are beautiful nonetheless. And these are the Miss Z's. They didn't have anything in my size, unfortunately, to try on. But maybe next time I come back in, I think they were just running a little bit low on stock. And it was this week, if I'm not mistaken, they were getting their shipments. Let's see. Prada, beautiful pieces. Love these slingbacks. I've been looking for slingbacks for a long time. If you've seen my most recent high heel collection video, you'll know I've bought 2 pairs of slingbacks. And these were some of the shoes that I was looking at that inspired that. Loved this Prada bag as well. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, simple, sophisticated. Even more slingbacks in YSL. These are some of the sexiest shoes I've ever seen. And this black and pink colorway was absolutely exceptional. I think these are possibly the sexiest shoe, the most beautiful shoe I've ever seen. They were about £900, but I can imagine worth every single penny. They were showstoppers. Do like a YSL bag. Never owned one. Will I ever? Who knows? Never say never. But also been really liking a vanity bag. I think they're cute. Very, very cute. Into Gucci, they also had some really nice pieces, some great shoes, some sneakers, some heels. Lots to be looking at. Loafers. Obviously, Gucci are very well known for their loafers. They had a nice collection of Marmonts as well. This green was really beautiful with the champagne gold hardware. I love that the Marmont line is living on, and I've definitely become more passionate about the Marmont line since realising how much I love it through my black velvet Marmont that I got 4 or 5 months ago. When did I buy that? In May. Louis Vuitton. Some beautiful pieces in Louis Vuitton. Like I said, I don't know a huge amount about Louis Vuitton, but I can appreciate it aesthetically. They had a lot of canvas pieces, a lot of capucines. I really liked the blue with the canvas here on the pieces. They also did a silver. I really like this. It was an element of visual interest, some really beautiful some beautiful sort of installations, and they had a lot of pieces to look at. The staff couldn't have been more helpful. The Louis Vuitton in Harrods on the ground floor is a really, really big store. And they had some beautiful pieces to be looking at. I really liked the mirror effect. They brought out this beautiful capucine that was in a emerald green snakeskin python. It was stunning, but it bothered me that the scales were already lifting and it was very, very expensive. What I took the opportunity to try on was this GM Alma in the mirror finish. I absolutely loved it, but when I found out it was £4,900, it was an instant no. Had it been about 2.5, more tempting, but nearly £5,000, no thank you. Quickly into Bottega. Steph and Deb had a couple of pieces that they wanted to look at in Bottega. For me, I love the colours that Bottega released their pieces in. And I also thought, why not try a few things on? Tried on a couple of the Andiamos. I really liked the Andiamo in navy with the chain strap. Also tried it on in the larger size, plus the clutch. We first saw this in Paris in this beautiful finish. Still really, really loved it. Fendi, to sort of round things out, the store was very close to closing. I'm probably not the biggest Fendi fan, and so many of my friends love and adore Fendi. I like it. I don't love it, I have to say. Nothing has ever really made my heart sing, I would say. But I do like these kind of fabric pieces. I also saw a piece in cow print that I really liked. I can't deny they're beautiful, but it doesn't make my heart sing in quite the same way as other brands do. This was the one that I really, really liked, this baguette. I thought this was fabulous. And took a quick look in Prada as well. Thought these buckle belts were absolutely fabulous. Some of the exotics that they have on show were simply stunning. And this embellished Prada logo on this crocodile bag, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Some lovely silks, a little bit of jewelry to be looking at. And I love the versatility of some of the nylon pieces as well. But there is a piece that you can see here in white that to be fair, had we have had a bit more time, probably would have tried on. And to round us out, dinner at one of my favourite spots, Cafe Concerto, and Harrods by night, all lit up. Absolutely stunning. Can't even imagine what they spent on light bulbs. But a fabulous day with fabulous friends.